The day before Thanksgiving, 2 National Guard members were shot, one of them killed. Now, U.S. Senate Republicans are on a mission. Next week, they expect to hold a hearing on former President Biden's immigration parole programs, because remember, that was a big sticking point once we learned more about the suspect in that double shooting on those National Guard members. Those programs allowed the Afghan national suspected into the country, in fact, and that's why we're taking a deeper look, and that's why you'll see Congress doing it as well. It comes as the Trump administration is continuing their crackdown on illegal immigration. A new Department of Homeland Security website is set to list the worst 10,000 criminal illegals that have been arrested during the crackdown. But not everybody is aligned with the president's goals. Well, we know that. Democrats are trying to fight him at every corner, especially in the courts. Former acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf here.
You have criminal illegal aliens sitting in jails, such as Chicago, and all ICE is requesting is to have those police officers hold them there so that they can go into the jail, pick them up, and then obviously remove them out of the country. And instead, what these jurisdictions do is they just release them back out in the communities, and that's why you have so many ICE officers now having to go into these communities to actually locate them and find them and then rearrest them and deport them.
Well, as Wolf, you just heard saying there, Chicago is one of those sanctuary areas that has released thousands of dangerous criminals right back onto the streets in direct defiance of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, request. Garrett Tenney is in Chicago. Garrett.
Harris, ICE is shining some light on exactly how often that's happening here in Illinois. According to the agency, this year alone, the state has ignored requests for more than 1,700 criminal illegal aliens who were released back out onto the streets. Their crimes include 5 homicides, more than 140 assaults, 15 weapons offenses, and 10 sexual predatory offenses. Beyond that, ICE says the state currently has more than 4,000 other criminal illegal aliens in custody that ICE wants, but that the state refuses to hand over. Here's Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons.
Before another one of these criminal aliens get re-released to hurt anyone back in their state or their communities, work with us now. We have the data to show that these are bad people. These are bad individuals that should not be re-released back in the United States. Give us the opportunity to remove them from the country and take them out of the equation.
Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul says his office won't be changing course, explaining in a letter to Lyons, even if the Illinois General Assembly had not prohibited local law enforcement from arresting or holding people based solely on an ICE detainer, ICE detainers typically have not been subjected to judicial review of any kind. Responding to an ICE detainer based on an erroneous information could subject Illinois law enforcement agencies to liability for ICE's mistakes. Earlier this year, the body of Megan Boss was found in the backyard of an illegal immigrant, stuffed in a trash can, covered in bleach, and left to decompose for more than 2 months. Thanks to Illinois' bail reform laws, that man was almost immediately back out on the streets, essentially a free man, until President Trump stepped in and had ICE track him down. Megan's mom, Jennifer, told me this morning there are going to be more families like hers hurt by criminal illegal aliens if Illinois doesn't make changes to its laws.
I will forever live my family wondering if he hadn't been here, because he's been here for many years. How many opportunities did they have to send him back? If he hadn't been here, would she still be here?
Despite those concerns, this morning, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is signing a bill creating even more legal protections for immigrants in the state against federal immigration efforts. Harris.
Well, you know what? That makes the job of the president even easier, talking about this economy as he tours, Garrett. Think about it. He's able to point directly to where some of those dollars have gone that Americans needed, and now the governor is making more of those dollars go to people who are not U.S. citizens. Amazing, like right on time. I'm sure he didn't game it out like that, though. Garrett, thank you. A new Washington Examiner column, quote, how Democrats treat illegal immigrants better than U.S. citizens. With this noteworthy quote, the mindset among Democrats is that they must never give any ground when it comes to deporting any illegal. All of them are victims, and all must be given whatever welfare program that the state can give them. Lost in all of this are the citizens who are taxed and regulated to death. They are forced to abide by different rules than the illegal immigrants who broke the law to arrive in the first place. End of quote. And Focus Now, Ari Fleischer, Fox News contributor, former White House press secretary. Ari, great to have you. You probably heard me wrapping up with Garrett Tenney saying, look, this plays right into the president's hands as he is trying to fix what Biden broke. Democrats are giving him more examples.
Yeah, historically, one of the biggest Achilles heels the Democrats party has had is that they're soft on crime. And here you have a double problem for the Democrats. Not only does it look like they're soft on crime, but they are reliving the worst moments of the Biden administration where people could just flood over the border because they were illegal. They are showing a face of the party that puts up with criminal behavior and says, if you came to America illegally, you get to stay and no one can interfere with that. This is a political killer for the Democrats, but they can't stop themselves from killing their own party. That's the problem they have.
Well, New York lawmakers are pushing back on immigration raids, as they call them, by introducing a new law that would make it more difficult for ICE to operate in this city. So this is like a rash that they have, Ari. They can't figure out that it doesn't work. It never has worked, and now they want to do more of it. So don't use the ointment of the answer. All of this comes just after Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani put out this video telling New Yorkers how to resist federal agents.
As mayor, I'll protect the rights of every single New Yorker, and that includes the more than 3 million immigrants who call this city their home. But we can all stand up to ICE if you know your rights.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem fired back on Hannity last night.
It's really unbelievable in this country what we're seeing. Those ICE agents that you were referencing, the violent attacks that have increased against them to 1,200%, they're there doing God's work to protect this country and enforce the law. And these politicians, if they don't like the law, then go frickin' change it. Go change the law. That's your job, is to actually have debate, have discernment, to create a law that actually puts America first. I'm just grateful the president is focused on that.
So, Ari, she makes such a good point. I mean, Democrats do have the power to share their ideas on this and their policies. They say they can win all over the country in midterms. Well, where are those ideas? Because this is a hot issue.
Absolutely right. In America, if you don't like what is the existing law, you do not have the right as an individual or a jurisdiction to say, I choose not to follow that law. It does not apply to me. It doesn't apply to my jurisdiction. You don't have that right, whether you're an incoming socialist mayor of New York or any citizen. So Kristi Noem makes a very good point. If you don't like the current law, change the law. But think about this. When New York City arrested Donald Trump on the charge of fraudulent business practices, should Republicans have surrounded Donald Trump, protected him from arrest, gotten into physical confrontations with the New York City police? No, you don't have the right to do that when somebody is under arrest. You have to work within the system, which is what Donald Trump did when he voluntarily cooperated. Even though he disagreed with the arrest, he was arrested by New York City authorities and had to turn himself in. Same thing here. When ICE goes out on an operation, no one has the right to stand up to ICE. You have to comply. They're law enforcement. You can't resist arrest. You can't interfere with a legitimate police mission, and that's what ICE carries out.
Ari Fleischer, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.